So if you've been watching High Tides on Netflix, the Dutch series set in the wild, wealthy, and deeply corrupt town of Knokke, you're probably wondering, is Season 4 ever happening? Well, let's talk about it, because the answer is pretty definitive. For anyone who needs a quick refresher, High Tides follows three characters from completely different walks of life, whose paths collide in some pretty fateful ways in Knokke. We've got Louise, Alex, and Daan, and over 3 seasons we watch them get pulled into and slowly try to escape the hedonistic world of Knokke's wealthy elite. Season 3 character endings. By the end of Season 3, each of them finally gets a real shot at a fresh start. Alex inherits the Vandale family's success, but also all of their baggage, and he's still trying to make the best of a genuinely tough situation. Daan, on the other hand, finally finds his own path forward, free from his mother's negativity and the weight she's been putting on him. And Louise? She makes some really important discoveries about herself and learns to accept them, even if it means leaving behind everything she's ever known. Season 3 wraps up each of their stories in a satisfying way. But here's the thing, that finale doesn't just close out the season, it closes out the entire show. Cancellation, no Season 4. Netflix confirmed ahead of Season 3's release that this would be the final season. There is no Season 4. And honestly, once you understand how deliberately this show was structured, that decision makes a lot of sense. 3-season structure, themes. Each season of High Tides was built around a specific theme, expressed through where the characters are in their journey. Season 1 is all about entry. Daan literally arriving in Knokke, Alex trying to expand professionally, Louise recklessly chasing her passions. They're all stepping into this audacious, opulent, yet deeply corrupt world for the first time. Season 2 flips that. It's about corruption. The decadent world around them starts to distort who they actually are. Each of the 3 protagonists goes through their own kind of bastardization arc, and it's uncomfortable to watch in the best way. And then Season 3 is the redemption chapter. It gives Louise, Alex, and Daan a real chance to break the cycle, to avoid making the same mistakes their parents did. And speaking of their parents, while the younger generation manages to claw their way out, their parents are still completely tangled up in the fallout from their own corruption. That contrast is really what makes the finale hit so hard. By keeping it to exactly 3 seasons, the show tells a clean, cohesive story. All the major conflicts and thematic threads get resolved, and that's exactly why a 4th season was never necessary. Character endings detailed. Now let's get into where each character actually ends up, because the details matter here. Louise's ending. Louise starts medicating and properly managing her bipolar disorder. And once she does, she realizes she just can't relate to the people around her in Knokke anymore. The town's familiar, shallow beaches don't offer her what she's actually looking for, which is genuine self-improvement and self-discovery. So she makes the decision to leave Knokke and go on a real soul-searching journey. It's a big move, but it feels right for her character. Daan's ending. Daan's situation is a little more complicated because he's been tied to Knokke by some seriously heavy things. His involvement in Thomas's murder and his aunt's disappearance. But all of that gets resolved through a clever collaboration between the Vandales and the Perotis. With those anchors gone, Daan is finally free. His mother chooses to stay behind to continue her relationship with Anton Vermeer, but Daan doesn't let that hold him back. The last we see of him, he's in college, possibly in Amsterdam, and he's making new friends and building a new life. Alex's ending. Alex, now officially the head of his family, makes a major decision. He walks away from the Vandale group entirely. But unlike the others, he stays in Knokke. He's not running away. He's choosing to build something on his own terms, free from his father's shadow. It's a quieter kind of freedom, but it's still a win for him. Bittersweet farewell. Every character gets a happy ending, but here's what makes the finale so bittersweet. So much of what made High Tide special was the complicated, messy, deeply intertwined dynamic between Louise, Alex, and Daan. Over the course of 3 seasons, they've ruined each other's lives and saved each other's lives, sometimes at the same time. They're each directly responsible for helping the others even reach the starting line of their young adulthood. So watching them go their separate ways, it's earned, it's logical, but it's also a little heartbreaking. The show revolves so much around their relationship that once the trio splits up, the story naturally has nowhere else to go. The season 3 finale is a bittersweet ending, and that's exactly what it was always building toward. So there you have it. High Tides is officially done after 3 seasons, and honestly, it went out on its own terms. No 4th season, no loose ends, just a clean, well-crafted conclusion. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.